Hello everyone, this is Captain Soban. Welcome aboard the Starship Enormoprise, and we are going to be playing a game called Homeworld Complex. Now, if you guys are familiar with this mod, this is a game mod for Homeworld, for the Homeworld Remastered Collection. If you guys are familiar with this mod, it pretty much adds a bunch of complexity to Homeworld. And the original version of this game was based off of the Homeworld 2 engine. And if you ever played Homeworld 2, the skirmish mode is like extremely simple. Like literally, it's a race to whoever can build the most battle cruisers. That's literally how you win. And this game adds a whole lot more complexity to it. I think they're currently still working on the mod, and I think there's supposed to be 8 races altogether. I can't remember them all, but they have the Homeworld 1 races like Titan, Kushan, and on the Homeworld 2, Vager and Hagara. And there's supposed to be a couple other, like Tyrannic Raiders are supposed to be in, the Kadesh are supposed to be in as well. There's a couple others I can't remember on top of my head. Anyways, that's enough gambling about that. I'm going to have the link in the description for people that are curious about this mod so they know how to get it on their computer and get it working. And for the people of Beggins, I believe is how you pronounce his name, I hope I'm saying his right, who is the founder of the mod and has his company going to continue creating this. There'll be a link in the description that you can check out to if you want to join their Patreon, so you can get dev updates for the mod, which I was probably planning on actually doing an episode of that, but the problem is they release a dev update every week, and the thing is I only make these episodes once a week, as you probably know. And doing that means every single time there's a new dev update, I would have to completely restart the game. This is the public release, 12.2. So you can download this, I think, straight from Steam, actually. Just go to the workshop and add it to your game, and then you can launch it through there. But anyways, let's get in here. Let's see. I haven't played this since, like, Complex 11, so there's a lot of updates I want to check out. Looks like, because last time I was playing, the Titan were currently in development. Vager and Higaran were good to go. But looks like Tyrannic Raiders, we can play around with them. The dev updates I've been checking out, they're also implementing Kushan in as well, but they're not to the point to where, you know, they're able to be played as. I don't know if the Tyrannic Raiders has the AI working. We will check out. Ooh, Berserk. Ooh, there's a new mode for this. That's awesome. We're going to keep the enemy on balance. We're going to go with Higaran because I know they work. I think the Titan's AI is working. I don't know. You'll have to excuse my privileges on that stuff. So let's see. Game speed, we went normal. Starting ships, normal. Starting resources, few. Let's go to normal. Let's see, resource multiplier, yes. Rex lifetime. Oh, okay. So apparently when a frigate class ship and above explodes in this game, they'll leave behind a wreck, and this makes it to where that wreck has a timer where if you don't get it in time, it will like dissipate in the air. And the reason they do this is because massive battles in this game will leave by tons of wrecks, and it'll cause a lot of game slowdowns. So I'm going to keep that on normal. And like, yeah, see this one, the high is in red, which means, like I said, later on in the game there's a whole bunch of battles. Yeah. Battle duration, normal. That's perfectly fine. Unit capacity, normal. We don't want that to be extremely high, which we can set that to, because that'll make the game much longer than it's supposed to be. Yeah, see, high and huge recommended for matches with 2 to 3 players, or for people with very fast machines. Mine's pretty fast, but some of my resources are being used to record this right now, so I don't really want to push it. Locked teams, sure. Starting location, fixed. Doesn't really matter, it's only a 2-player map. AI strength. What does this do? Determines how much extra aid received by the CPU players. Providing an extreme CPU will kill you very soon. So this is basically like a handicap for the computers. The higher you have this set, the more the computer has an advantage over you. We're going to set that to normal. Bounties? Yes, we want bounties on. This means every time we kill a ship, we get a little bit of money. Secondary objectives, no attack time. We don't really care when the computer attacks us. Okay, I think that's just about everything. Let's go ahead and get into the game. Yeah, everything's good to go. Now, in this version of Homeworld, there are more than one ways to actually get resources, and I'll show that once we actually get into the game and get everything up and running. I didn't even check the other game modes. I should have. Oh, cool! Yay, we're a Tyrannic carrier. God, I love the Tyrannic.
Prophecy is at hand. The end time has begun.
I love the Tyrannic battle carriers.
This is your destiny.
New construction options available.
Dude, that's a cool voice.
Flagship.
It sounds like the normal Vigor command ship with like a nasal problem.
Acknowledged. Prepping for collection.
Alright, these guys are our harvesters. Oh, that is so cool. I have not played the Tyrannic Raiders on these guys yet, so this is pretty darn cool. Okay. So let's see, resource collector, basic utility ship, droid, let's see, long-range sensor device, capable of detecting cloaked ships. Okay, so that's basically like our probe. We can build a harvest control module, we can build a drive system.
We're coming home.
I'll explain all this stuff later, guys. Sensors array, command center. Science and Engineering Division unlocks research in new ships. The command center can be upgraded to level. Okay, so that's basically our research department for this team. What weapons can we put on? Flak turrets.
Seal the ports.
Flak turrets. Flak turrets. And flak turrets.
Flagship.
But I love how our command ship is a battle carrier. Oh man, I can't wait to deck this thing out with actual weapons. Because the real battle carrier has 2 ion cans in the front, 2 ion cans in the back. It has like little plasma bombs. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's enough things implemented that we can actually start using the Tyrannic Raiders. But so far it looks really, really good. All we can do is harvest. Let's go ahead and I guess let's build that research thing. So yeah, they're still implementing a bunch of things into this game, and once everything gets implemented from the normal versions, then they start working on what the heck would you call it? What do they start working on? Oh, they start making their own custom ships. Like the one I was looking at for the Tyrannic Raiders was called a Paladin class ship. I think it's the carrier, like the cruiser or destroyer class for this one. Unfortunately, I can't show you guys because that's a demo build, not a public build. I guess as we're waiting, well, I'm gonna wait and see what happens.
New upgrades available.
We get that
Flagship
built.
research module complete. New construction options available.
Where the heck would that be
Flagship.
located? Oh, nice! It's the bridge. That is awesome.
Flagship.
That is freaking awesome. Alright, let's see, what do we have to research? Research speed and power core at the moment. And of course there are normal updates for harvesters. Oh yeah, I love the Tyrannic Raiders icon. If you've seen my Cataclysm game, then you've seen that a couple times. There's a fusion control, which again I'll explain that later. But for now, this is pretty much all we can do. I don't think there's anything else. We can build the droid real quick and check it out. Apologize for the background noise, guys. Peter kicked on. Nothing I could do about that. I can edit it out as much as I can, but that's about it.
Probe complete. Flagship.
Alright. Oh, you're a harvester. You're not a probe.
Flagship.
There's our probe. That's a nice looking probe. Wow, you have a really big engine. Then again, that's pretty much all probes are.
Understood.
Yeah, there's an enemy scout. Okay. And this is pretty much what a probe does. It goes out, it'll deploy itself, and then it'll start, you know, scanning for things. But the probes on this team look like they're both a probe and a proximity sensor, because they not only give you a bunch of sensor data, but they also detect cloaked units within this area here. So it's cool, it's a 2-in-1. We'll see what happens when it deploys. It doesn't have a deployed animation yet. That's fine. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and restart this game. I will be back in a bit. Alright guys, welcome back. Okay, so I restarted the game. We are now the Titan instead of the Tyrannic Raiders. So like when we go to our build menu, we have a lot more things that we can actually do. So Squadron Mode, that's new. Switch to Squadron Mode production. Fighters are built and launched in squadrons. This mode is applied to all production ships. Dude, that's awesome. So
Resource collector awaiting.
okay, fine. I'll give you guys freaking orders. Go harvest
Collection
something.
confirmed. Acknowledged.
Oh, this is our carrier, by the way. It comes with our mothership. So if you guys are familiar with Homeworld 2, you know that your ships build in squadrons of 5. And in Homeworld 1, your ships build one at a time. Well, and since last time I played this, which was, like I said, out in Complex 11, this is 12.2, so that was probably a year ago. They did not have that. Every ship had the ability to build one unit at a time. So now they made it to where you could switch between building one unit at a time or building a squadron of 5 units at a time, which means probably all this stuff is just going to go up by 5 times, which is awesome. So while our guys are harvesting, first we need to build our research module on our mothership. By the way, I like the way the Untitled Mothership talks. It's awesome. If you ever played Homeworld 1, you'll know where that voice comes from. Research ship.
Production underway.
Because the Titan don't actually put a research module on their mothership, they have an actual research ship that goes around. I have no idea how the Tyrannic Raiders are going to handle that. I wonder if they actually have to, like, No, they built the command center. The command center that goes on the Tyrannic carriers, but does your research. I was like, I wonder if they... Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. I was wondering if they actually had to, like, go and capture enemy ships in order to do things. Alright, so the first part of this game, we have to establish our economy. And to do that, obviously, we harvest a bunch. Now, there's a ton of resources in all these things. They've been grown up exponentially from Homeworld 2. It's like this big one right here has 72,000. This one has like 19,000, and this is on normal.
All research available.
It can go much higher than that.
Complete.
Okay,
New
so
construction options available.
So let's check out our research. The first research we get is increased research speed because, you know, we built a research ship. Then after that we have like our fighter stuff, and we have some of our utilities. And now fusion control, I'm going to go ahead and talk about that. That is as a secondary way to generate resources. What this does is it uses the excess power generated by the fusion reactors on resource controllers, or the other one that you can build. And what it does is it will use it to generate RUs. It doesn't generate a whole lot, so unless you have a whole bunch of controllers, you don't really want to rely on that as a source of income, but it can help, like, generate additional income for like other projects that you have to do.
Production underway.
So so we're going to build a fighter facility because the way this one works, we have a level up system. First off, right now we're a lieutenant, and then once we get 100 honor, we'll be promoted to a commander, 300 captain, 600 commodore, and 1000 admiral. And as we level up, we're able to build higher and higher tier ships. Like, in order to build corvettes, we need to be a commander. In order to build frigates, we have to be a captain. And destroyers, you have to be a commodore, and I think admiral you have to be in order to build battleships.
Production complete.
I'm not exactly sure on that.
Options available.
Okay, so now we have that built, and And now we can build our scouts, interceptors, bombers, and defenders. I'm going to build a couple interceptors to protect us against enemy fighters. And right now we're too early in the games because frigates and whatnot are not going to be built, so we don't have to worry too much about bombers. And also in the meantime, let's see how many of these resources are being used.
Roger.
Let's see, we only have 3.
Flagship.
Ah, there we go. We have 5 harvesters. If I remember, these small asteroids can only hold 1. Or that small asteroid, I should say. These ones can hold 2, and this one can hold 3. So 3, 5, 7, 8 is how many we can have.
Responding.
So let's build a few more harvesters so we can get this place completely going.
Flagship.
And then after that, let's see, we can build a carrier. That doesn't require anything. And then once we get our modules, our hyperspace module, we can build a utility ship, and then we can build a construction gate, which is like your shipyard from Homeworld 2. I was about to say Reller 2. I don't know why. My mind's all crazy right now.
Resource collector complete.
So we'll just have to keep that in mind. That basically becomes a mobile shipyard, I believe.
Combat stations look sharp.
I don't remember because I remember that being implemented last time I played, but I didn't really play around with it much, so I can't really tell you what exactly it's going to do. And this right here is all of our modules. Now, from Homeworld 1 or Homeworld 2, there was a few modules, but not a whole lot. But these modules actually do a whole lot compared to Homeworld 2. For instance, the Harvest Control module, this allows that if you're by the harvesting area, you can get this and allow your harvesters to carry more, harvest more, and drop off faster, essentially getting more RUs quicker. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the carrier
Construction
because of
underway.
the fact he is so close to the resource modules.
Acknowledged. Resources locked in.
Resource collector complete.
Reporting.
And the next one after that, and this also unlocks additional research that you can do to improve your harvesting even more. Then next to that is your drive system, which allows that any ship equipped with this is able to move faster and rotate faster. So this would be good for like a fast-moving ship that you want to get into an area quickly. This also unlocks engine upgrades, which allows you to improve the engines of all of your ships.
Subsystem construction.
Defense control
complete.
tower is exactly what it says. It improves the defenses of your ships, increasing their overall health and their natural health regeneration, and it unlocks a defensive research, which increases your overall health even more. Fire control module increases the amount of damage that you do and increases your damage accuracy, and it unlocks researches to improve that even more. And there's more down the line, but we'll talk about more of them when they get unlocked. So let's see, the first one I want to get,
Standing by.
so you already have that built. Let's get defense and fire module for the mothership because, well, it's a mothership. And the reason I'm getting the fire module is because of this over here. We can actually put weapons on our mothership. Like if we look around here, let me see if I can find some of them. I think that's a turret spot, that's a turret spot. Should be 2 on the bottom side. That's a turret slot, and that's a turret slot. It's because the enemy is going to throw a bunch of units at us, and we have to adapt to what they do, which I think I forgot to... Actually, I think this game only uses the adapt mode, if I remember right.
Resource collector awaiting instructions.
Only uses the adapt mode. Resource collector... Oh, fine, just harvest. Do what you need to do.
Construction options available.
So,
Selection underway.
right now we start out with flak frigates, or flak turrets, which are, as you can tell, very good against fighters, pretty good against corvettes, but not good against frigates and capital ships. Because it doesn't do enough damage to really affect frigates and whatnot, but it does a bunch of damage, like in a small circle, so it tears apart fighters pretty quickly. And kinetic turrets, they're very slow turrets, so not good against fighters. They're decent against corvettes, very good against frigates, and okay against capital ships. Again, it doesn't quite do enough damage against capital ships to really take them out, but it's really good against frigates. So for now, let's see. Oh yeah, I better talk about this stuff real quick too. Sorry if this, I'm just talking a whole bunch on this episode, guys, but there's a lot to explain the differences between this one and original Homeworld 2. So, like I said, this one right here is your current ranking. It goes up based on how many enemies you kill, how much stuff you build, how much you researched, how much you harvested, stuff like that. This is your total amount of RUs you have. You only can carry a certain amount. It's not unlimited like Homeworld 2. And then there's certain things, yeah, like right here, that you can put onto your Mothership in order to increase your maximum supply. You can do it on your carriers and other ships as well. And then this right here is your research points. Whenever you do a research, which we need to start doing, whenever you do a research, crap, the music's getting to me. Whenever you do a research, you generate research points, and once you get to a certain point, then you can upgrade your station, which for us is putting another research ship on it, and it'll allow you to get more advanced researches, mainly turrets, which will come in handy later on in the future. Let's see, what do we... Oh yeah, we need a fleet pride upgrade. Let's see, shields. Oh yeah, excavation. That'll increase the amount we harvest. And capital class. Wow, we can go up 5 times now? Screw it. Let's upgrade our health and upgrade our health. I'm a defensive person, so I usually focus a lot on that. Okay. And we can't build any more fighters? Oh, wow, apparently we can only build 6 fighters. We are going to change that. Let's see, fighter capacity, increase. And increase our health and weapons of our fighters, because we're going to be using them a lot at the beginning of the game. Okay, and just to make sure that the Mothership is good to go, let's go ahead and build some of our flak frigates, which build quickly, they just require some money. And right here it is. There's our little flak tower that's going to protect the Mothership. Let's see. Yeah, we could put 4 turrets on. It doesn't matter what you put on the actual turret, because you can actually just retire the turrets anytime you want and switch them to something else. It does require RUs, but it's not much. It's like 300. And since we're too early in the game for the enemy to start using frigates and whatnot, fighter defenses is all we need. But eventually we'll get like pulsar turrets, which are very good against corvettes. And then later on after that we will get bomb turrets, which apparently are very good against frigates and capital ships. And then ion turrets. But yes, we can actually put ion cannon turrets on our Mothership and use them to attack. Now, the only problem about these things is they do require energy to operate, and right now the Mothership's not producing any energy whatsoever, because I believe we have to build a nuclear reactor. Yeah, it provides energy for the whole fleet. Let me see, provides energy for the fleet, unlocks the energy upgrades, can be upgraded up to level 10. Each level a control rod is automatically built, improving the nuclear fusion. This is new. I mean, I know that this part right here has been there before, and I know that's where the nuclear reactor goes, but that's kind of new. So does the Mothership provide power for the entire fleet? Huh. It's kind of interesting.
Copy.
And the carrier we can also put weapons on as well. Let's see, I think that's right there, a weapon. That's a weapon. There's our fighter bay. Where's our other weapons? Or they just... There might be those right there. I'm tempted to build a few just to see where the heck they go.
New upgrades available.
Huh.
Destination canceled.
Alright.
Flagship.
We got a decent amount of research. Yay, our energy's building up on our Mothership. So the Mothership has to have the nuclear reactor. I mean, that makes sense, because the Mothership can get pretty powerful. We have a lot of health right now, too. Not bad. Weapon efficiency decreases unit energy is less than 10%. Ah, so they didn't make it no more to where the power has to be at 0. They made it where the power has to be less than 10%. And your weapon efficiency goes down. Yep, now we're up to 100%, 734. That's cool. And I think this thing actually tells you how much energy they consume. Yeah, that one's low. That one's low. That one's medium. Pulse turret, that makes sense. Bomb turret low, and then obviously ion turret high. So you can make this mothership a complete capital ship killer, but it's going to consume tons of energy, so it's not going to be able to keep up that firepower for long periods of time. But I think right now I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. The enemy hasn't attacked us at all, but we have an economy going. We're getting some stuff going. I need to get my research level up so we can get better defenses going and keep up ahead of that game. How much more fighters can I make? I'm assuming, yeah, 12. That's what I thought. No, don't build me a scout. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. If you like this video, please hit that like button. It helps my video get a little bit more exposure to other people that enjoy this kind of content. If you enjoy if you want to check out more of what I do, hit that subscribe button. Check out my channel. I like to play space-based games, like to make 3D animation, and I like pretty much any type of strategy game out there, honestly. But if you want to support me even further, I do have a Patreon in the page description you guys can go to and check that out. I'll also have a Patreon to the group of people that make this mod and the hardworking people that spend all the time making this. This mod is 6 years in the making, maybe longer. I mean, I found it 5 years ago. It was already pretty developed at that time. But they had to switch to a different engine because of the fact they were kind of like overwhelming the original engine. So it was really good when Homeworld Remastered came out. But anyways, guys, that's enough jabbing. I will talk to you guys later, and see you guys in the next video. This is Captain Soban signing out.